41 programs, and you're going to continue on through that pipeline. And in a few short months, Terry, we went from having 41 programs in the NCAA that had met minimum requirements to today, less than 6 months later, 58 programs.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. The growth has been really, we couldn't have drawn it up any better, right? I mean, it's growing faster than I think we could have expected. And so, it's exciting. It's exciting to know that the opportunities for females are going to be there, not for the next few years, but for generations to come. And then that's really what this is about, right? It's we know wrestling is a great sport, but now giving that opportunity to both genders, right, and letting them enjoy the benefits of the sport, that's really what we've been working for all these years.
That's right, and we are here. Listen, this is getting broadcast. Thank you to KCRG, who's been here doing the production, and this is getting streamed live for free. And it's getting streamed live for free from FloWrestling, from Flow Sports, because they understand the value of being able to educate our audience. So we also are going to talk to you about scoring, because we want you, the fans that are sitting in your seats, or if you're at home,
ladies and gentlemen,
what is happening and what's going on.
We're ready to wrestle for a championship.
So when it comes to scoring women's wrestling,
starting at 191 pounds,
you get 2 points for a takedown. You get 4 points for a takedown to your back. You get 1 point for a push out, and that is where 1 foot goes out of the out of bounds.
New Jersey City.
2 points for exposure. Roll through or expose your wrestlers, your opponent's back past 90 degrees or beyond 45 degrees. 0 point. You don't get any points for an escape. That's different than in folk style wrestling, Terry. And so women's wrestling here, it's freestyle. There's a little bit of a different flavor. There's a little bit of a different style.
So what you're going to see is if someone gets taken down, they're not trying to get away. They're just trying to not get turned and not get exposed to their back, because after 15 to 20 seconds, they're going to be brought back up to their feet. So it's definitely a little bit different flavor than folk style wrestling, what our collegiate fan is mostly used to. But in the sport of collegiate women's wrestling, we're in freestyle. So here we are. We're starting at 191 pounds tonight, and we have J.C. Fowler and Sandra Guerrero from New Jersey City University.
So Sandra Guerrero, she's coached by Barry Hart, Walid Elakashara, and Ron Baines. And she has been a tremendous athlete who continues to grow and shine. She is now a 3-time National Collegiate Women's Wrestling Championship All-American, and she won the Region 1 Championship.
Lion Conley of Maryland, and your match chairman, Chris Cole of Idaho.
And Sully, not only do we have an individual match going on, we also have a team race going on. So every one of these matches count towards that team championship tonight for the University of Iowa.
That's right. The University of Iowa, they came out heavy hard here in this. Points-wise, many people thought, hey, you didn't have a shot of contention for winning this national championship team title. They're starting to really show up. They are performing under pressure, and you're seeing it right now as we're watching our athletes. So right now, both athletes, they're jockeying for position. You have an underhook.
NCWWC
And there she goes. She gets 2 points for that takedown.
Yeah, just stayed in good position, forced her underhook, and forced Guerrero to try a throw. And there she has a leg lace. It's a quick way to score a lot of points in the sport of freestyle wrestling, and she's now up 6-0.
And when you're talking about women's wrestling, it's freestyle, it is action-packed. Once you get your takedown as an athlete, strategically you're thinking, how do I capitalize on this? How do I create action on the mat? She just got taken down 4 points right to her back, and you can tell that she's in a dangerous position right now.
She has her on her back.
Scenario.
Definitely a big point for Guerrero.
And Guerrero right now, she can just start to settle in, start to get her chest back, really putting some pressure on JC.
There's a lot of time there, a minute and a half left in this period for JC to fight off her back. Guerrero's just settling in.
And you can tell that as Guerrero is trying to roll out, it looks like she gets her back put even more in danger. Here in freestyle, it is an instantaneous. Once both shoulder blades touch the mat, that is a pin, and that's different than men's folk style. Men's folk style, it's a 3-second count. That is not the case here. And you can tell it's getting awfully close.
It's close. The shoulders
Guerrero
are up.
smiling, looking at that ref, wondering how much more does she have to get
she's
put
close.
down.
She knows she's close.
JC is doing her best to fight, but
That's a fall for Sandra Guerrero. And a national championship for New Jersey City University.
that's big. That's a big point. That's a big move. And Terry, I'm sitting here. You've won a national championship. What did it feel like? And what do you think that athlete is doing right now?
Well, she's relieved. She's excited. You know, she's put in a lot of work to get to this point, and there's no better feeling than having that thrill of victory. Here she is, just settling in. Sandra knows she's in a great position. She has a lot of time, just holding her on her back, just waiting for the call. I don't know the fact, Sally, but I'm guessing that's the first national championship in history for New Jersey City University.
You know, what's been impressive is that our programs continue to grow, and we have athletes that are coming out of the woodwork. And this is across all programs. We have over 58 now, and you just got your first one from New Jersey City University tonight for this national championship.
Championship at 101 pounds. From the University of Iowa, Emily Gonzalez.
So Sally, as you talk about the 58 schools represented here at this championship, we actually have 96 NCAA schools right now that have the sport of women's wrestling. 4 in Division 1, 31 in Division 2, 61 in Division 3. So that growth is incredible.
And here we are with all of these programs that are coming. Iowa has come on to this stage. This is their first year competing. It's right now the coaches out there. Clarissa Chun, who is, what are her accolades, Terry? Tell me about, you've worked with her before.
Yeah, well, Clarissa Chun is a world champion as a wrestler, is a Olympic bronze medalist in 2012, and just has been a great part. You know, before she was here, she was an assistant coach at USA Wrestling for the U.S. program, and now she's taken over definitely a high-pressured program at the University of Iowa with a lot of expectations, and she's doing a great job of handling what that all entails and just going about her business.
And right now we have 2 Hawkeyes in the final, so Clarissa Chun has taken a seat over in the VIP section, and she's letting the athletes that have their coaches in the room sit in there. She's taken a little bit more of a neutral position.
These are the hardest ones for a coach to watch because you want both athletes to win, but only one's going to get their hand raised, right? So you just let them go out there and do their job, and just happy for both of them and for the success that they've had.
Well, and here we have out on the mat right now Emily Gonzalez. She's in the red. She's wrestling against Sterling Diaz. She's in the blue. And these two have been absolutely battling in the wrestling room, and they're going back and forth. So here we have Gonzalez. She won. She's a Region 5 champ, and Sterling Diaz, she was a runner-up. So they're beating each other. But earlier this year at the Missouri Valley Open, Diaz was the champion, and Gonzalez was the runner-up. So these two continue to compete. They continue to train, and they're in the same room. So that concept of iron sharpens iron, they're showing that right now.
For sure, and when you're in that moment, Sally, it's a tough thing, and it's a struggle every day, but you have to come in prepared every day, and because of that daily preparation, it makes both athletes better in the long run.
And here we have Gonzalez. She was able to get 2 points for that takedown. Right now she's looking for that half, looking at ways to expose her opponent's back, trying to get it past that 45-degree angle to get her points. The ref calls them up, back to their feet, back to the center.
I suspect they've wrestled each other quite a bit in that room, right?
I bet they have.
They've both gone through this match many times. They both know strategically what they want to do, and they're just going out there trying to force their style of wrestling.
And freestyle, it is an action-packed style of wrestling. So right now you have two athletes out on that mat, feeling each other out, pushing, pulling, trying to get off balance, set their opponent up so that they're able to score and execute. Gonzalez in on that leg, bringing it up. And here, strategically, you can move them out of bounds for 1 point, but you can score more points if you can bring them down to their back.
Yeah, really kind of a win there for Sterling, you know, only giving up 1 point on that attack there, because Emily definitely had her in a position where she could have scored more than that.
Matt's strategy comes into play. You don't want to give up any points, but sometimes it's strategically better to give up 1 than 2, and certainly better than giving up 4.
Correct. They're just in a hard hand fight, you know, both jockeying for position here. You know, there's a fine line between forcing your style of wrestling and you know, just kind of finding your place out there and let the match play out. And Emily's in a position now where she's ahead 3-0, so she knows that Sterling has to come after her, so she can kind of play a defensive or counter-offensive type of game and just hold back. So the onus right now is definitely on Sterling.
So athletes,
those points on the board.
30-second break. They're going to their coaches. They're going to the coaches in their corner to get some wisdom. Steiner, you wrestled for Iowa, and you've been a national champ. What do you think those athletes are hearing? What are their coaches saying to them?
Really just telling them to get to their areas and make sure they're playing within the areas they need to be in, and not wrestling in the other people's areas, and just staying relaxed, right, and letting the match happen.
Gonzalez in red, she has been dominating that center, really being relentless and not letting Diaz in. And mat strategy, mat control is so important, especially with freestyle with that 1 point push out rule.
Emily's definitely staying close to her, keeping the pressure, keeping Sterling reacting to her, and that's you know, usually the sign, the person that's winning the positions, winning the periods, winning the matches is the person that's kind of dictating what's happened on the wrestling mat.
Gonzalez in red, she's got that intense head position right now. She's being really relentless and dominating those ties. And right now, Sterling, she's going to have to figure out a way to get Gonzalez to open up so that she can start attacking.
Yeah, she's just not finding any openings right now. She might have to work a little bit harder with her movement to create some reaction, to create some movement, so she can find some of her own attacks.
Gonzalez, look at her controlling the center. It looks like she's trying to push her out, see if she can get some easy points. So that means that Diaz is going to have to really start kicking it up with mat strategy. She wants to try and circle towards the center so that she doesn't give up any more of those easy points that are, after a while, it starts to chip away at your confidence. It chips away at the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think at this point, Sterling definitely has to pick the match up a little bit and pick up the pace a little bit, giving a few more attempts. She's kind of waiting for the perfect opportunity out there to score, and that may not happen. You might have to force your style in there a little bit more. So I suspect that Coach Mayab, if he could be in her position right now, he would open the match up a little bit.
They just called passive on Blue, meaning that Blue was not being able to get in there, and she wasn't getting action. She wasn't scoring points. So Blue right now is on the shot clock. Terry, tell us about the shot clock and what does that mean?
So the shot clock, they're going to call the shot clock regardless during the match if there's scoring or not. But definitely if the score is 0-0, they're going to call that shot clock. Or if the person is, less aggressive, that's what's going to happen. And then when they get one warning, and the second time they get called, they're going to be put on a shot clock where they have 30 seconds to score a point. And if they don't score a point, their opponent will receive 1 point. And right now, Emily just received another point because Sterling did not score, and that's why the score jumped to 4-0 now.
4-0. And listen, in freestyle, to be up or to be down by 4 points, it's not insurmountable because you have the ability to throw and have some grand moves that can expose your opponent and get them to fall right on their back where you can score 4 points quickly, rapidly. We've seen it time and time again throughout this tournament.
For sure, and you know, points can come easy if you can get on a roll.
And your 100.
And we have a champion.
And there it is,
Gonzalez.
Emily Gonzalez, 2024 National Collegiate Women's Wrestling Championship. She is the national champion.
A great accomplishment, and you know, there's a great respect between those two because they know what each other goes through to try to win matches, and so they're going to be there to support each other and push each other at the same time.
Oh, that was the time that Diaz tried so hard to get in on her leg and did that shot, and that's an unfortunate move right there, right? Because that was when Gonzalez was able to capitalize and get those 2 points that really got her out in front in the lead for that match. And really, Diaz wasn't able to recover and come back from it. It was 4-0.
Yeah, I think Sterling needed to pick the pace up a little bit there. She has some great offense. Sterling has been coming through the U.S. system, and you know, she showed some great offense over the years, and she just never got going today. And you know, that's a testament to Emily as well for her good positioning and just kind of dictating the pace and the ties in that match. So kudos to both of them. A great match and a great match to watch, and a champion for the University of Iowa and a runner-up.
There we go. There we go.
Of Lindenwood University. Taking 5th, Britton Corbishley of North Central. Taking 4th, Alexa Garcia of King University. Taking 3rd, Treya Haynes of North Central. Your runner-up, J.C. Feller of Iowa. And your champion at 191 pounds, Sandra Guerrero of New Jersey City University.
The energy in this arena is amazing. Here we have 20 athletes from across, from all different weight classes. We've got 10 weight classes here being contested. And Terry, the energy, it is powerful.
Well, I think, you know, it's definitely a pro-Iowa crowd, but North Central also has a large contingent here, and they both know what's at stake in these matches. So I believe the crowd will stay into it the whole night.
Well, and when we're talking about North Central, I mean, that's a program that has been on the scene and has been dominating. And it's because they have a head coach there that is instilling in these athletes, don't give up easy points. Wrestling is a fight. Wrestling is a grind. And Terry, you came from the University of Iowa, and you had Iowa style. What is that like?
Well, I think it was the same thing. You know, you get out there and only one person's going to win the match, so you have to get out there and dictate, right? You have to dictate and take things and be very selfish on that wrestling mat. And I think that's what really both programs really present, and I think that's what they preach. I think Joe Norton's done a great job with North Central University and moving that program forward. Obviously, they were the national champions last year, and you know, continued. He's built quite a tradition there and quite an expectation.
All right, we will be right back after this break.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, taking the back. At 109 pounds from West Richmond,
Here we go. We are back. We are at 109 pounds for this national championship title. We've got Kaylani Schutfeld in the red. We have Ava Bayless from Iowa in the blue.
Kaylani really jumped out in my eyes at the U.S. Open this year in December. She had a great tournament. I believe she ended up in 4th place, but had some great wins and really showed me that she can be the future in this sport for the U.S. team. And she's really showing that. She wrestles for Lock Haven. Her coach is Matt Lackey, a former NCAA champion from the University of Illinois, and definitely has taken great pride in leading the Lock Haven women's program, and it's showing.
Kaylani, she is already qualified for the Olympic trials that are coming up this April at State College here at Penn State, and so that's another thing about women's wrestling being freestyle and the way that our college system is working. This is preparing our athletes so that they can compete and be contenders of making that 2024 Olympic team that's going to compete in Paris.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we need our college system. They have a bulk of the athletes in their programs that are going to be our next U.S. world and Olympic superstars, and so, you know, we need these programs doing their job, developing these athletes, and, you know, definitely, again, with these two programs here, we see Lock Haven, we see the University of Iowa. They're doing a great job of pushing people forward.
And Ava Bayless, she has not yet qualified for Olympic trials. The winner of this match will become because Kaylani's already qualified. If Ava Bayless wins this, she will also be qualified.
It's a nice couple attacks for Ava. She's just having a hard time finishing. Schufeld's doing a great job of in this whizzer position, this ankle whizzer we call it, of holding her off and keeping her from scoring. But Ava's doing the right thing. She's been on both legs right now and doing a great job of attacking. And I think if she keeps that up, eventually she's going to find a way to turn that into points.
We have verbal warning on.
And here, as you can see, the score is 0-0 after a minute. About a minute, if there's no score, one person is going to be called for passivity, and that's the first time a warning. And if nothing happens in the next 30 seconds or so, someone will be called again.
So there is, you see the referee saying, hey, action, action. He's wanting them to speed up.
So this is a second warning on Schufeld from Lock Haven. So she is now on the clock, on the passivity clock. So if she doesn't score within the next 30 seconds.
She's in on that leg. Oh.
If she doesn't score within the next 20 seconds now, Ava will receive a point.
And listen, at this level, you don't want to give up any easy points. If you have an opportunity to score, you need to get in. She had that leg. She should have gotten in and just continued to drive it. But she's got reset. She's back out here, but time is short. She does need to score, otherwise Bayless will get that point.
And there's 1 point for Bayless. And, you know, I think in a match like this where there's a lot of stress on both athletes, and you know that every point is going to matter.
That's right. Every point does matter. And if we're also talking about a team title here, right? So Iowa needs to score as many points as possible and pull out as many national champs if they want to upset North Central. That last time I checked, we should get an update, but they were ahead in points.
Nice underhook throw by Ava Bayless, in on a nice single leg, and she scores 1 point. So now the score, in essence, is 2-0 for Ava Bayless. So the other thing with the scoring in freestyle wrestling is the last point. If points are tied, the last point scored wins the match unless there's a bigger point scored. So here there's two 1 point points scored by Ava Bayless. So if Schufeld would score a 2 point takedown, she would win both on being the last point scored and the bigger point scored.
Schufeld, she is trying so hard to get in that dominant tie, but it looks like she's been struggling to get in that space. Yeah. Ava Bayless is being real smart, real tactical.
Doing a really good job of hand fighting and controlling the wrists and just really tying Schufeld up and staying in really good position. So even when Schufeld did shoot, she was ready for it and just blocked her offense.
All right, both athletes back to the center. Action's getting started. This is the second period.
See the wrist position, the wrist ties that Ava's controlling those wrists, really tying that offense up.
Trying to look at Schufeld has that arm, trying to throw it by, doing anything she can to get her arm out, trying to clear it. She needs to be able to set it up so that she can score, she can control, she can be in the winning dominant position. And I imagine, listen, we've seen a lot of Iowa girls in the finals tonight, so that room has to be intense. That room has to be ferocious. They're hand fighters, they're fighters. That's just the Iowa style. But here we go. Schufelt taking a shot, doing what she can to try and score some points.
Schufelt's really starting to pick up the pace here a little bit, really knowing that she needs some urgency to put points on the board, and you can tell she's dictating the center of the mat right now. She's dictating the tie a little bit, and has had a couple more offensive shots. But Ava's doing a really good job with her defensive position. Her head position, her hand position is really extraordinary.
Schufelt, she's out there, forehead to forehead, working so hard to get dominant head position, but Bayless is just so strategically and tactically blocking her. It's really hard for her to get in, but it's crucial. She has to score points, and really with time starting to wind down, she needs to get a 2-point move. Otherwise, she has to start creeping up 1 point at a time.
Okay, and they just gave Ava Bayless 1 warning for passivity. So the next warning, if she gets another warning, she would be on the shot clock, which wouldn't make the difference in the match, but it would definitely tighten it up.
Schufelt trying to get that underhook, but unfortunately she doesn't have head position on the same side as her underhook, so Bayless is able to really control those ties.
Really, Ava's really doing a good job of seeing those and feeling those shots coming.
And you know, you can only be out there and wrestle for so long, and having someone hang on your neck, hang on your head before you just start to get so fatigued.
Yes.
1 point red. I'm not sure what that was for.
Shot clock.
No, it wasn't a shot clock. It must have been just the positioning. Ava's in on an underhook right now, holding really good position. I think she realized she needed to start to control this a little bit more.
Trying it for that fireman. Bayless has heavy hips and keeps blocking it. But time's short. Listen, she has to, and as Terry was saying, it's not good enough just to get 1 point. She has to get 2 points. Bayless is being really strategic right now by backing up and blocking it.
She knows she can't just back. The referee called for a point and a caution, but
not going to be enough in order for her.
Did they get it? I don't think they got it. They did not confirm that call. It should be 2-1, is my understanding. The ref called for it, but did not. 2-1 is the score. Schufelt wins the match. They did not confirm that call at the end of the match.
So that's very special with freestyle wrestling. If you don't just have one official, you actually have 3. And when points get thrown up, it has to get confirmed by the other referees to make sure that what's happening out on that mat is fair and everyone's in agreement.
And just a further breakdown on that, the referee in the middle of the mat makes a call, and then the mat judge on the far side of the mat, Sally, they will make a call too, whether they agree or disagree. And the mat chairperson on our side of the mat, the near side of the mat, they either have to agree with one of the 2 officials, and if they don't, then they call a conference between the referees to figure it out which call they want. But the mat chairman cannot make their own call. They have to agree with either the referee on the mat or the mat judge on the far side of the mat to make that call.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your All-Americans at 101 pounds. In 8th place, from Aurora, Genesis Ramirez. In 7th place, from King University, Avery Kibblebeck.
Because they're both 1-1, but not only did
in 6th place, from Colorado Mesa University, Genesis Martinez.
We got to get new converters.
In 5th place, from Schreiner University, Odelia Lopez.
Just trying one more thing, I want to make sure.
In 4th place, from North Central, Madison Avila. In 3rd place, from McKendree University, Lizette Rodriguez.
Voted and divided for converter, so if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Your runner-up at 101 pounds from the University of Iowa, Sterling Diaz. And your 101-pound national champion from the University of Iowa, Emily Gonzalez.
When they gave her the points to tie, it gave her that.
Okay.
Because the caution, I guess.
So the computer automatically puts that
Yeah.
line.
Do the cautions outrank, even though they're 1 point, do they outrank the push-outs?
Here we are. We're back. We've got the next weight class that's coming. It is 116 pounds. Felicity.
Least number. I got you. Highest value.
Wrestling for the championship at 116 pounds. Coming out first for the University of Iowa, Felicity Taylor.
All right, next up we have 116 pounds. Felicity Taylor from Iowa in the red. And versus Brianna Gonzalez from Iowa in the blue. We have another Iowa versus Iowa match.
Coming out also from the University of Iowa,
This is going to be another step match. These athletes have wrestled each other in the wrestling room. I mean, if we're starting to get the tone and tempo of the direction that this sport is going. Hey, we have 50 NCAA programs at this tournament that qualified at least one athlete, and you can tell that these women, they are scrappers and they are here to fight.
The interesting note here, Sally, is Felicity Taylor is a graduate of McKendree University and now a graduate student at the University of Iowa. She had eligibility left and she wanted to finish in her home state at the University of Iowa, and here she is in the national finals once again.
Well, listen, there's nothing wrong with being educated and getting degrees from more than one institution.
Yeah, and then on the mat with her is Brianna Gonzalez. You just saw a couple matches ago her twin sister Emily Gonzalez win a national title, and I'm sure she'd like to follow in her footsteps.
That's right. Felicity Taylor, she's now a 5-time All-American, 2021 National Collegiate Women's Wrestling Championship national champion. She's a 3-time NCWWC finalist, Region 5 runner-up, Missouri Valley Open champion. So she is no stranger to winning. And she's competing against Brianna Gonzalez, Region 5 champion, and she also won the Missouri Valley Open.
Yeah, and last year, Sally, Felicity was on our U23 World team and ended up, I believe, 5th in the world at the U23 level.
And Felicity, right there, she's dominating. She needs to try and get her back down so that she could have scored those points. She could have scored those points, but...
Wow, Brianna did a great job of saving those points.
That's right. Got right back up to her feet before the points got scored.
And sometimes that's what it's about. You know, as much as it is about scoring points, sometimes it's about saving those points, those tough points, and not giving those points up. So she's done a great job. Brianna has in 2 situations. One when she was almost taken down, and then at the edge of the mat where she was almost pushed out for a push-out point. So she's definitely in this match and wants to win tonight.
Neither of these athletes that are competing right now have qualified yet for the Olympic trials. So whoever wins this match, in addition to being an NCWWC national champion, they will also punch their ticket to State College to compete and try and make that Olympic team.
Brianna's in on a single leg. Felicity's doing a great job of defending it, but definitely she's definitely controlling the pace a little bit more right now.
And you have Taylor out there on the mat in red, and she is heavy on the neck, and she is just trying anything she can to start move and open and just wearing and fatiguing Gonzalez down.
Yep.
Felicity just got a passivity warning.
Passivity warning for Taylor.
It's the first warning, so she's not on the passivity clock yet, but that may come into play in this match.
And with freestyle, the referee is saying, hey, we want action, score points. Felicity Taylor is doing that. She's heavy on the hand, snapping down. She's looking like she's trying to drive out and see if she can get one of those points. Snaps down, goes around, gets 2 points. You can also see in freestyle, look at, she's got that elbow lock. She's got an arm trap, which means that Gonzalez does not have a post on her left side. And there Felicity is taking advantage just to the tilt, past 40 degrees, 45 degrees, got 2 points, just got another 2 points. In a short time span, the score has just gone 7-0, and that is a spread that Gonzalez is going to have to work to come back from.
And Sully, you talked about it earlier. You know, she was at the edge of the mat. Brianna was trying to save that push-out point, but and Felicity knew that and snapped her to the mat and spun behind, and that not only gave up a takedown, but then gave up two turns as well with that trapped arm gut wrench.
Well, and you know, she should be thanking that clock, because if it wasn't for time going up, that could have easily ended the match, because it's so hard to come back once you get your arm in a trapped arm.
For sure. So I suspect we're going to see a different pace right now from Brianna. We'll see how she goes about this, but tactically she's going to have to change how she's been wrestling this match.
Speeding up, she has to score points. She has to be aggressive. She's going to have to go in. And that also means to Taylor, hey, listen, you know that she's coming. What are you going to do? Scoring around, gets in. Oh, picks her up. Scores another 2 points. For a takedown, got her legs laced right there. So right now, 9-0. She cannot give up one more point, otherwise that's going to be a technical fall. She's defending it, but here we go. And
she had it, but she's doing a great job of fighting it. She V'd up her body there, and really, with the leg lace, you want to stay in a straight line, and Brianna did a good job of defending that lace, because she had it. I thought she had it laced and locked.
It's really important when you start to get in those positions that, especially when you're up 9-0, if it doesn't feel tight, if you don't feel secure, you don't have to try and make it work, because you don't want to get pinned, you don't want to slip, you don't want to lose.
Wow, that was a nice double leg attack by Brianna. Lifted it. You know, she was hoping to get 4 out of that, got 2 out of it, but. You know, Felicity knows she doesn't have to be urgent with anything right now. She has some points to give. She just has to not give up big points, right? And if she can do that, she's going to probably be able to hold on to this match. But we'll see.
Well,
see
Gonzalez
if Brianna can get going.
That's right. It's at 9-2 right now. Gonzalez has 2 points. She's got a deficit that she has to start to make some ground on, and she is pursuing and she's attacking. This is for the national championship title, and everything is on the line for them right now, including a berth to the Olympic trials.
Felicity's just staying in good position. Is keeping good head position, good hand position, knowing that she doesn't have to do anything drastic.
Gonzalez, it is a minute left in the match, and she's got to score some points. She's trying to move and push. Right now, she's doing a great job at staying in the center.
Another nice shot by Brianna Gonzalez on a single leg. Felicity did a great job of defending that. 40 seconds left.
And in freestyle, listen, you can score points. You got to get a takedown. She's got to go right to those turns, but that means she's going to have to get Taylor to open up. And right now, Taylor is being really strong, head position, hand ties. She's owning the center of the mat, really blocking Gonzalez out from being able to get to her tactics, to get to her shots.
Yeah, Brianna just can't find anything. In on another single leg attempt. Good job of defending. Felicity Taylor is going to leave tonight being a national champion.
Gonzalez, she needs to keep her back strong. She's going to have to come out straight. Time ran out. Congratulations to Felicity Taylor, 2024 NCWWC national champion at 116 pounds.
It's a great moment for Felicity. Her parents are mat side. enjoying the moment.
That's one of these. This is a special thing that we do here at the NCWWC National Champion. When you come out and compete and you're in the finals, you get 4 tickets to figure out who you get to allocate them to your friends and family. They get to come sit down, join you mat side, and you're celebrating and you're in that moment with them. You're never alone. It's a family sport. Felicity Taylor right here. She gets in that front headlock, really dominant, and this is where she gets up, picks her up. Oh! Scores her 2 points right there in a dominant fashion. There's her mom. There they are, mat side. They get to celebrate that moment with what they've been working so hard for.
A moment they'll cherish forever.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your All-Americans at 109 pounds. Taking 8th place, Genevieve Alejandro of Tiffin University. Taking 7th, Isabella Morales of Colorado Mesa. Taking 6th, Danielle Garcia of King. Taking 5th, Jaslyn Gallegos of North Central. Taking 4th, Kendra Ryan of North Central. Taking 3rd, Samantha Miller of Mount Olive. Your runner-up, Kaylani Schufelt of Lock Haven. And your champion at 109 and punching her ticket to the Olympic trials, Ava Bayless of Iowa.
We did, but nobody else did. Zach, can you sit up, please?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your matchup at 123 pounds for the championship.
Here we are, up next at 123 pounds. We have Amani Jones from North Central in the red against Virginia Ford, King University in the blue.
Both great upcoming athletes for us within Team USA structure. Again, another superstar for North Central. Amani Jones was 3rd at the U20 World Championships last year, and I believe she's gone for her first national championship.
She's a 3-time All-American, 2023 National Collegiate Women's Wrestling. She was a runner-up last year, won Region 4 to qualify her to get here to this tournament.
And also Virginia Ford from King University. Virginia is definitely an athlete that has been on the rise, and she's had a great tournament so far. I expect this to be an exciting match.
Well, listen, Virginia Ford, she is a freshman. She was a Region 2 runner-up, and I have been following her parents, and I've been following her fans across social media. There is so much excitement watching her to make it here to these finals, and they are so excited. Virginia Ford, again, a freshman competing against Amani Jones, a junior.
She did a great job of saving that point.
There she is, like working, moving her opponent, trying to get in. She's not letting any of these moments go to waste.
Amani showed it right there. She has a great snapping motion and gets an angle on it for kind of a counterattack. She does a great job at it. But she was unable to score the first time there on Virginia.
Virginia looks like she got caught back on her heels a little bit, but saved it, and she's right there back in her position, forehead to forehead.
Yes.
And here we are again, Sally. Staples in the corners. We have Joe Norton in the corner for North Central, who's done a fabulous job of building that program, and Jason Moorman from King University has been there for a number of years, has won a couple of collegiate championships, and has done a great job of building that program.
Well, look, you saw it again. Virginia Ford got caught a little bit on her heels, and this time Amani Jones was ready for it and prepared. She ran right into her to see if she could get her knocked off balance and see if she could make something happen out there. And Virginia Ford, quick on her feet, was able to recover.
One red.
So you can see there, tactically, Virginia is definitely a more aggressive wrestler. It has a lot more initial contacts and initial attacks, I would say, where Amani has a lot of counterattacks, and she's just kind of waiting, blocking.
Oh, Virginia looks like she was trying to get a point for a push-out, lost her balance, went forward, and her opponent got that point. Here we are, tied up 1-1. Virginia Ford, freshman from King University, versus Amani Jones, a junior from North Central.
Yes.
A lot of action here, just no scoring. But it's an exciting match, a lot of things happening, just not quite able to get those points. Doing a great job defensively, both athletes.
Well, and that's freestyle, right? I mean, this is a sport. This is the style of wrestling that women are wrestling here in college and at the Olympics, where it is action-packed, it is action-oriented, and there's just lots of movement. And Amani Jones, speaking of, she's already qualified for the Olympic trials that are coming up in April at Penn State. Virginia Ford, if she were to win this match, she would also qualify for the Olympic trials, and both of them would be contenders to make that 2024 Team USA Women's Wrestling Olympic team.
Yeah, I think both of them have their sights on that. You know, they both feel that they have a shot at getting in there, and they want to make sure they have that opportunity.
Well, and here they are. They're both 30 seconds. They're in their corner. It's tied 1-1. Right, Terry, what do you think's going on right now?
I think that both coaches are probably saying, "Hey, just don't over wrestle the match, right? I mean, you gotta keep attacking and keep doing what you're doing, but don't over wrestle it. You know, let the match play out, let it come a little bit. Just make sure you're dictating the ties out here and the movement of the match."
So right back, 30-second break. These athletes are both coming right back out. They're banging heads. Virginia Ford is heavy on her neck, heavy on the ties. Feeling each other out, working
There's that
to get
snap down.
And listen, when you get an opportunity to get in on Virginia, you're going to have to figure out how to capitalize on it because she's so tough to move.
Yeah, she definitely stays square in front of you. She's done a good job there. So, again, just a great tactical battle.
Amani, if you got that headlock, oh, she goes for that inside angle trip. You know, incredible.
They gave 4 for that.
Longtime athlete Victoria Anthony. She wrestled for Team USA. She made that move.
There's a challenge out there. Coach Mormon threw a challenge. I believe he's challenging the points. The officiating crew gave 4 points on it, and he's challenging, saying it was only a 2-point. It wasn't feet to back. It was feet to mat. And so what happens with the challenge, Sally, is each coach has a challenge block that they can use. If they're right, they can continue to use it. If they're wrong in their challenge, the opponent will get a point and they'll lose the opportunity to challenge again. So you definitely have to use that challenge block wisely.
Got to be strategic. And if you, and I think you said it too, but if you challenge and you're wrong, you not only lose the challenge opportunity in the future, but you can lose a point.
Yeah, and now it goes away from the officiating crew. There's a judge on the side of the mat that's looking at the film and making a decision, and he'll tell us what his decision was.
And here we are. They're gonna.
So it was a good challenge. They got it back, so it wasn't a 4-point attack. It was a 2-point takedown for Amani Jones.
Hey, so that was a good challenge. The coach said, hey, my athlete did not expose 4 points. She didn't expose her back. It should have been 4 points. Should have only been 2. So the score's been adjusted 3-1. 3 for Jones, 1 point for Ford. Virginia in on that leg, trying so hard to keep moving, keep moving. There you have Jones. She's so heavy on her hips, controlling, staying out in front.
Amani's just staying in good position. She knows she doesn't have to do anything. She's winning this match. Virginia's gonna have to come to her and score the points.
Virginia Ford, freshman out of King University. She's in her Cinderella story, continuing to put her name and put her mark in this sport. And she needs to score at least 2 points. If she were to get 1-1-1, that wouldn't be enough. She has to score at least 2 points in order to win this match.
1 minute left in this match. Virginia's definitely going to have to pick up her pace a little bit.
And the more that Virginia moves, the more that Amani, who's a great defensive wrestler, if Virginia gets in, she's not been able to get through, and Amani has been getting her in that front headlock, really holding her chin, tying her up. If I was Amani's coach, I would say snap, pull it down, control, dominate.
30 seconds left, short time.
Virginia Ford is going to have to move and score.
These short time
She's doing it.
situations
She's trying everything
are
she
so
can.
important.
Ten seconds left. Ford is going to throw everything she can at this. Jones, she just needs to stay calm, cool, collected, on the center of the mat. And she does. A lot of emotion from these athletes.
I think some maturity showed in this match for Amani Jones. She really, she was ahead. It's one thing scoring points out there, but it's another thing being able to wrestle with a lead and not panic, right? And she just stayed calm. She knew she didn't have to do a lot after she scored her inside trip for 2 points and just really stayed in good position.
Amani Jones, 2024 NCWWC National Champion. Amani with that inside trip right to her back. That was 2 points. That was what got her over the edge. That was 3-1. She held her position following that, controlled, dominated, and came out a national champion.
And more points for North Central as they edge closer to securing the team title.
That's right, Coach Joe Norton.
Point, Abby Nelson. In 7th place, from Emmanuel College, Carissa Turnwall. In 6th place, from Adrian College, Carly Cherneski. In 5th place, from King University, Melanie Mendoza. In 4th place, from North Central, Sydney Petzinger. In 3rd place, from King University, Samara Chavez. And your runner-up at 116 pounds from the University of Iowa, Brianna Gonzalez. And your 116-pound national champion from the University of Iowa, Felicity Taylor. That also punches Taylor's ticket to the Olympic trials.
It's perfect with the hotel right here. Oh, yeah. We used to have a state.
wrestling for the championship at 130
Here we are. I am Sally Roberts, two-time world bronze medalist women's wrestling and the co-founder and CEO of Wrestle Like a Girl. I'm here with Terry Steiner, the Team USA women's national team and Olympic coach for women's wrestling, and we are here at the Alliant Energy Powerhouse watching the 2024 NCWWC National Championship.
Well, here we have Cam Guerin in this matchup against Maria Delone from King College, King University, and originally from the country of Spain.
That's right. So even if Maria were to win, she is not eligible to compete at the upcoming Olympic trials because she is not an American citizen.
Cam Guerin is going for her 4th national title tonight, Sally.
She's now a 4-time All-American, a 3-time NCWWC national champion. She's a Region 5 champion, and she's also from my home state of Washington, where she was a 4-time high school state champion.
She has quite a legacy behind her already.
Cameron has already qualified for the Olympic trials. And here's what's awesome about this match right now. You have Maria, who is from Spain, and she's wrestling Cameron, who's from the United States. Women's wrestling, it's freestyle, it's the Olympic style. Any girl from anywhere in the world, if she gets accepted into a program, gets recruited to wrestle, and can afford the economics, they can come here to the United States and wrestle freestyle, winning a national championship while still being able to go back to their home country and compete for their home country for the World and Olympics.
And Sally, it's really a win-win situation, for our college programs to have foreign athletes inside of them only helps them understand the sport better and get a different feel, a different perspective from a different style of training, different styles, everything, and it really helps the athlete grow as a wrestler having foreign athletes involved in our college institutions.
We talk about wrestling, women's wrestling being a pillar, a driver for financial, social, and educational mobility. You shouldn't have to sacrifice athletics for academics, and we're proving right now that you can have it all.
They're in a tough match here. Both people still kind of just feeling each other out here, trying to figure out how they're going to start attacking. Not a lot of action, a lot of hand fighting, a lot of jockeying for position, but not a lot of action so far.
Clock is going.
Cameron in the blue. I mean, and when we're talking about the international style, and this is where you're one of the experts globally, Terry, international competitors tend to do a really good job at hand ties and tying up their opponent and really making it so they can't move, and that's very distinct from the American style, which is where we just want a lot of action, a lot of motion, a lot of shots, trying to make things happen.
Right, the European style of wrestling, I would say, is a lot more clingier than our style. They're clinging to collar ties, to wrist ties, to 2-on-1s and underhooks. They're definitely trying to slow that match down a little bit. And then if you go to the Asian style, it's a lot of attacks, a lot of quick, explosive motions. And so definitely we're kind of a hybrid in between the two. But here you're seeing that. You're seeing Delone being very steady, not in a rush with anything, just tying Cam up some and then looking for her opportunities to score. But
Maria De Leon, she is a junior at King. She's coached by Jason Mormon and Ashlyn Ortega. She's a 2-time NJCAA national champion, and she's a Region 2 champion.
So Delone is ahead right now, 1-0 on a passivity call. Cam's not being able to clear her head position
4, 3,
to get in.
2, 1, and 2.
Okay, end of the period. It's 1-0. Delone's ahead. I think if people probably have Cam, probably thinking she's going to win this match, being a 3-time national champion already, And Jalone has something to say about that.
She does have something to say. Cam, she's at McKendree. She is a senior. She's coached by Alexio Garcia and James Kinskin.
Manually start.
She's, again, a 4-time All-American, 3-time NCWWC national champion, and looking to make that, she's looking to become a 4-timer.
And it's interesting, Sally. I believe that Alexio Garcia, Coach Garcia, is now at McHenry, was also part of Cam Guerin's high school mentorship as well.
There we go. There we go. Continuing to build that pipeline. As the athletes develop, so do the coaches, and they keep growing. I mean, we went last year in the United States of America. We had 35,000 girls wrestling across the United States. In 1 year, that number jumped to over 55,000 girls that are wrestling.
That's incredible. Well, like I said before, I don't know if we could have written that script any better.
And here we are. We're at the NCWWC, and this is the national champion, the precursor to women's wrestling becoming an NCAA championship sport. If all the votes continue to go the direction that it should, women's wrestling could become an NCAA championship sport by 2026.
You know, Cam's had a hard time really engaging Jalone. She just hasn't been able to get her moving, and I think Cam's, when she's at her best, she really gets the girl wrestling with her, and Jalone's doing a great job of kind of just staying in her lane and staying in her style of wrestling and not getting this match going too fast.
And the ref, he already put his hand up with the blue wristband on it saying, hey, caution, like he's already warned her, she better get moving. And when she stands there and just puts her head on the forehead of her opponent of DeLeon, that's when the referee's like, hey, listen, that's not wrestling. We need more action than that.
Okay, I believe that's the second passivity for DeLeon.
Okay, that's going to be on the red.
So she will be on the passivity clock. Oh, that's the first. That's the first passivity call. So.
Oh, here we go. We're starting to get some energy, some passion out on this match.
Oh, it went back to 0. Hey,
no, they haven't started the passivity clock.
I got to edit that. It was at 7.
So they need to back the clock up a little bit. Or add some time to the passivity clock. There they did. They added 7 seconds onto the passivity clock. So right now,
I'll make sure it starts here.
Marie is going to have to score, or she's going to be down 2-1.
All right, it did not 0 out that time. I had to manually start it again.
Cam is doing a great job at dominating and controlling that center. DeLeon is really having to move and shake, heavy on the neck, heavy on the hands. You can see just after so much.
Okay, Cam goes up 2-1. Close call there for Marie. In on a nice shot, unable to score. There's 35 seconds left. Cam knows that she just has to hold on to this match. Marie's going to have to open up right now.
Cam's out there doing what she can to slow Maria down, tying up the hands, tying up the arms. What Maria wants right now is space, and she wants to be able to get in and get to her legs so she can score those points, and Cam wants the exact opposite. With a short time, about 30 seconds left, she needs to wrestle strategically. She cannot afford to give up even 1 point.
3, 2, 1.
Maria starting to get fatigued, starting to get tired, her head's down.
Who is the winner?
Cam Guerin, a 4-time collegiate national champion.
That's a decision.
There she's showing it. A great accomplishment. It was a great match. You know, so many matches Sally are won in those last 20 and 30 seconds. Being able to hold the lead and be able to score points when we're behind, that's so important.
And that's mental toughness, right? Like, you cannot start envisioning yourself on the podium until you finish out the last 20 seconds, and that's when your lactic acid is running through your arms. That's when your legs feel heavy, your mind is fatigued, and that's when you have to dial everything in.
Yeah, and a lot of times we overthink, and we either panic in those situations and we try doing too much, or we just get nervous and we get out of position.
130-pound national championship, Cam Huron. There she is, 2024 NCWWC national champion. Out there giving her mom a hug, giving her aunt a hug. Her father passed away a few years ago, and she says that she continues to wrestle in honor of him.
Taking 6, Mia Macaluso of East Stroudsburg University. Taking 5th, Alexandra Fitzgerald of Sacred Heart. Taking 4th, Shelby Moore of McKendree University. Taking 3rd, Montana DeLauder of King University. Your runner-up, Virginia Ford of King University. And your champion at 123 pounds, Amani Jones of North Central. Coming out, ladies and gentlemen, the 100.
Here we are at the 2024 NCWWC National Championship.
North Central.
Empowered by K12. K12 is an online education platform allowing students to take advantage of online public schooling so they do not have to sacrifice academics for athletics. With K12, students can have it all.
Here we have Yele Aycock from North Central. She's really impressed me. Her style of wrestling is very explosive, and I think it's going to be an exciting match.
That's right. She's competing against Claire DiCugo out of King University. She's in the blue. Claire, she's a redshirt sophomore being coached by Jason Moorman and Ashlyn Ortega. She's a two-time NJCAA national champion and a Region 2 champion. Aycock, she's out of North Central, coached by Joe Norton. We've heard his name and said his name a time or two during this tournament.
Yeah, we have. And both these coaches, both Coach Moorman and Coach Norton, the thing they do, and I think the same with Coach Chun, is they have great people around them, right? Their assistant coaches are a huge part of their program and the success of their programs.
Aycock, she's a two-time All-American, 2023 NCWWC runner-up, and a Region 4 champion. She's looking to win her first national title. Neither Aycock or Claire DiCugo have qualified yet for the Olympic trials, so whoever wins this match will also get a ticket punched to Penn State to make that to try and make that Olympic team.
Both people very patient right now. Again, just trying to feel how they can start
Aycock,
attacking.
there she goes in. She's in on that single. She needs to get her head out to the outside, try and continue to get that movement. You see that Diugo, she's working, trying to get 2 points, and she does. She scores right over the top.
Nice counter offensive attack by Claire. Scores 2-0. The one thing I was going to say about Yele is when she shoots in on her initial attacks, on her leg attack, she has a second effort there that's really dangerous. She does a peek out or a duck under afterward that's, I think, really dangerous. But when she just got in there, she wasn't able to get to that position. Claire did a great job of defending her attack.
And that's wrestling, right? It's chain wrestling. That's like life. You get in on a shot, maybe it doesn't work out the way you want it to. You can't stay there. You can't pause. You got to move off to the single leg, the double leg, the high crotch. You got to be out there making motion, making things happen.
For sure.
Claire in blue, she is working hard right now. Working on controlling the hand, keeping on that
nice
leg.
Shot by Claire, and then a nice
Trying to go around behind. Working on getting that pressure forward. Oh, and there she did. She got Yele to go down a little bit, but not enough to score points.
4-point takedown
Feet
for
to back.
Claire. Score is 6-0.
And Claire is taking advantage of this opportunity. In freestyle, you get to be in that parterre. And you don't get a lot of time. The ref has already called him up. They want to see continuous action.
I like the poise that Claire is showing out there. She seems very relaxed and knows where she's at on the mat. Is very calm.
Claire's doing a good job at really owning her space, staying with her back towards the center, dominating that center mat, making it so that Yele really, if she's going to score points, she's making her work.
Second period.
This is 136 pounds for the national championship. Yele versus Claire. North Central versus King University.
We've seen that a few times, haven't we, Sally?
North Central, right now it's North Central about 198 points and Iowa has 188 points. North Central is, they've been practicing, they've been training. Their head coach, Joe Norton, he got asked a question yesterday during the press conference and said, say one nice thing about every coach up here. And he was able to muster off one great thing about all the coaches. And that is a great thing that we have about the women's wrestling culture. It's that we're competitors, but we're still going to get along and we're all here to grow the sport.
And I think it's so important, Sally. You know, of course we want to win matches and we want to win championships and we want to win dual meets and everything like that, but I also think that when we step away from the mat, we have to work together, and I do appreciate that with our coaches. I think there's a great respect for one another and also a great unity knowing that they're a part of something bigger, right? And we're all in that together, right? And that's what's great about being a part of Team USA is you see coaches working for one goal, right? And that's putting everything to the side and working towards the same goal. So I really like that. I like that camaraderie that we have between our coaches, and of course they want to win, and I'm sure there's moments that get heated, but at the end of the day they want to be working together.
Well, in this tournament, the NCWWC, it's reflective of community. Yele in on that single. She needs to get her head up because remember last time Claire was able to get 2 points through a counter of this. So Yele needs to have solid position. She can't stay there. The ref calls him back up.
Yeah, Claire just has so much leverage, you know, she has length. It's one thing having power and explosiveness, it's another thing in having length and leverage, and both are hard to deal with, right? And it's learning how to wrestle within your own body and what your attributes are. And
you were talking earlier about collaboration, and this NCWWC, it has certainly been a collaborative effort with all major wrestling entities coming together. Claire coming in on that single. Snatch single, we're going to come around behind, pressure in the thigh. And Yele, listen, she's in there, she's not giving up that point. Look at this, she's nearly in the splits.
She is in the splits.
And this is where you want to be smart, right? Give up easy points, don't go to your back and give up 4. Claire trying to push her down, seeing if she can get it locked up for a leg lace.
.40 seconds left. Score is 8-0.
Yele has to make some magic, and we're talking freestyle, so it's not impossible, but she's got an 8-point deficit that she's going to have to make up. Adeline Gray, who's a superstar within Team USA and one of our winningest athletes ever, has once made up this deficit at the national championship. Yele, she's going to have to answer to some unanswered points. 15 seconds left. Claire is composed. She's got her head on. She's wrestling smart. She's very strategic, not taking any unnecessary moves, but willing to get that shot. 2 points.
And 2 points for a 10-0 victory for Claire DeSugno. And I really think that that may be the best tournament that I've seen Claire wrestling in a long, long time, maybe ever.
Tech fall right there. 3 seconds left. She scores the last 2 points so that she can lead 10-0. A 10-point spread, that is a technical fall. And that's when they would stop the match. Claire DeCugo, she is the 2024 NCWWC National Champion at 136 pounds.
Really dominant in that match, and her great defense, her great offense, just really poised.
Looking up at the fans in the crowd, looking up at her teammates at King University, jump down. Each athlete gets 4 tickets to let their family members come back, and she's hugging them, embracing them, celebrating that moment.
Might need to switch the colors.
Women's wrestling, it is continuing to grow by leaps and bounds. This year at the NCWWC, we have over 15 vendors that have showed up for Fan Fest, and that's the first time that this event has hosted it. We have vendors coming in that support women's wrestling, support the empowerment of women, that want to be here and celebrate this event, the growth of the sport, and participate in all of the energy and all of the action that's going on.
In 5th place, from Presbyterian, Cassia Zamet. In 4th place, from North Central, Sarah Sterner. In 3rd place, from Aurora, Alexis Janiak. Your runner-up at 130 pounds from King University, Maria Victoria Baez de Leon. And your 130-pound national champion from McKendree University and 4-time national champion, Cameron Guillen. Wrestling for the championship at 143 pounds.
Here we are, up next at 143 pounds. You have Lara Mendy. She's in red from Iowa versus Annie Drury from King University. She's in the blue. And you know, Reese, she has come from the pipeline of USA Wrestling. She attended the Wyoming Seminary that's out in Pennsylvania. And that's a high school that wrestled freestyle. It's a high school prep program that wrestled freestyle.
She knew it was the best training situation for her, right? And she was willing to move cross country from Nevada, where her home state is, and move to Pennsylvania to get the training she needed. And look at what the situation she's in today because of that.
Drury from King University. She's in the blue. She has already qualified for the Olympic trials. So Reese, not only is she wrestling for a national championship, but if she were to win this tonight, she would get her ticket punched to Pennsylvania, Penn State, to compete to make Team USA.
And the rest of the matches now are very important for the University of Iowa as they try to climb back in the national championship talk here. Right now, again, they're down by about 9.5 points, I believe. So they need every one of these matches.
Laramendi, she knows that there is not just a team title on the line, but also personal. She goes to dump, scores 4 points right out of the gates, locks up a gut wrench. Has to be smart, get a lot of pressure, starts working to drive Drury over. The ref calls him back up. You don't get a lot of time down there to score those points.
Score 4-0.
Right out of the gates. Drury really heavy on her neck, heavy on her. Listen, Laramendi is a threat. She came right out of the gates and scored those 4 points. That is the tempo, that is the pace of how she's going to be going. Drury needs to keep her contained, slow her down, and get her offense going. Laramendi gets it on that single, has to get her arm out, start to get her weight back.
They're doing a great job here in this position, both people fighting.
Oh, compromising position for Laramendi here. Looks like she has to be real careful.
She's got some flexible shoulders. That's how she came out of that position.
Gave up 2 points instead of 4. Here she has Drury here on a high gut, pulling her back. Scored another 2 points. Just like that, the score is now tied 4-4.
She's got to look to have some defense here. Drury's doing a great job on top. Now it's tied up 4-4, and now in this situation, Laramendi has a 4-point move. So even though she didn't score last, she scored the biggest points scored. So if the match would end as it is right now, Laramendi would get her hand raised. But I think this is going to be a lot more scoring in this match than what we've seen.
This is turning out to be an exciting match. Laramendi, she is a redshirt freshman, coached by Clarissa Chun, Gary Mayab, and Tanya Verbeek. She's a Region 5 champion and a Missouri Valley Open champion. Anya Drury, she's a junior out of King University, coached by Jason Mormon and Ashlyn Ortega.
Definitely wants those underhooks, doing a great job of... Oh.
It's 5-4 blue.
They gave that step out point to Ain. I believe that she had position, she had the underhooks, was walking her out. To me it looked like there was points the other way, but the referees all confirmed it. All right, so Laramendi started out fast, right? She came out and scored 4, and the last 5 points have been scored by Drury.
That's right. So Laramendi came out hard, and there has been a response from Drury. Anya came out here to win a national championship title and is not going to make it easy.
Definitely a contrast of styles here.
You know, one of the things that I love about women's wrestling is these athletes are so powerful. Their physiques, their frames are so strong. They're eating the right nutrition. They are hitting the gym. They are going to school. This is exactly what we need for our next generation of leaders.
Yeah, it's definitely not a part-time thing anymore, Sally. You know, they have to be all in, and that's what I love about the sport of wrestling, is to be successful in this sport, as in life, you have to be all in.
That's right.
And you know, they're learning a lot of life skills along the way, not just learning how to win a wrestling match.
And Terry, Laramendi, she came from Wyoming Seminary, and they train freestyle at that prep school for high school. How do you think that helps or doesn't help for what they're doing now in college?
Oh, it definitely helps. You know, I mean, you know, the rest of the world wrestles freestyle from when they're born. You know, there's a
right
4-point attack.
Laramendi has to just be calm, be smooth. Drury put in a real tough position right now, and in freestyle, as soon as both shoulder blades touch, that's an instantaneous pin. You can see Clarissa Chun in the corner saying, pin, pin. They're all saying fall. That camera, you can see it. Both shoulders have to be flat, and you have to wait for the ref to call it. And the ref just called it.
There's a fall for Reese Laramendi, and not only is that big for her, and there's also extra points. There's bonus points for getting the fall. That's a big win for Reese.
There is a team title on the line, and Laramendi showed up, not just for herself, but for her team.
And she also qualified for the Olympic team trials.
There we go. There we go. Red shirt freshman coming out to make a statement. Welcome to women's wrestling. Laramendi, there she is, goes right back to her back. She settles in, she sees the opportunity to score points and knows that this is the opportunity to get her pin. She just has to get her both shoulder blades to touch, and as soon as she does, the ref calls it. Reese Laramendi, 143 pounds, their 2024 NCWWC National Champion.
Great moment there with her mom.
And you know, when she was wrestling in high school at Wyoming Seminary, she would say, I am doing this because I want to be a college national champion just like the guys. And this tournament, she is showing up and she earned it.
Sure did.
Taking place, Holly Bodwin of Colorado Mesa University. Taking 7th, Taylor Graveman of North Central. Taking 6th, Jade Trolland of Simon Fraser University. Taking 5th, Lily Luft of Iowa. Taking 4th, Grace Stem of Lock Haven University. Taking 3rd, Victoria Torres of McKendree University. Your runner-up, Yeely Aycock of North Central. And your champion at weight class 136 pounds, Claire DeCuno of King University. And Claire DeCuno has also just punched her ticket to the Olympic trials. We are ready to wrestle for a championship at 155 pounds. Out first for the University of Iowa.
And we are back. I'm Sally Roberts, two-time world bronze medalist and the co-founder of Wrestle Like a Girl, the national advocacy organization for girls and women in wrestling, and I'm here with Terry Steiner, Team USA Women's National and Olympic Team Coach, and we are at the NCWWC. Up next, we have 155 pounds.
We have Marlon Dede from the University of Iowa and Cheyenne Bowman from Wayne University.
Dede has already qualified for Olympic trials. Cheyenne Bowman looking to make her way there. Oh man, and this is going to be an exciting weight class. We got a lot of action coming up. Dede, she's a senior, coached by Clarissa Chun, Gary Mayab, and Tanya Verbeek. She's now a 5-time All-American, 2023 NCWWC champion, and a Region 5 champion. Looking here to be a 2-timer back-to-back. Bowman, she is a junior, wrestling out of King, coached by Jason Norman and Ashlyn Ortega. 3-time All-America and now a 2-time NCWWC finalist. She's hoping to win her first national title here tonight.
Sally, both of these athletes have a lot of experience. Definitely a different match for both people. I mean, they have different styles of wrestling. We're going to see what breaks here, what happens. And both have been pretty dominant on their way to the final.
Dee Dee trying to see if she can get in, just do a quick little ankle pick, get something moving, really trying to get Bowman moving.
That is red.
It's a warning, I believe, on Dee Dee.
And the referees, they're like, hey, we want to see some action. We want to see you guys moving. It's not just enough to move. You need to be scoring points.
And there's a fine line there. You know, the athletes definitely need to be listening to the referee, but you don't want to be coached by
Dee Dee in
them.
on that single. Oh.
Very nice shot by Dee Dee.
Calm, composed, coming up. Got to get smart. Lots of scrambles. She hasn't got her 2 points yet. You have to get around. You have to control. Dee Dee slowly starting to try and get her weight back. Bowman is not letting go. She cannot give up these 2 points.
That's a great motion there.
No points yet. Still neutral. This is a scramble. Bowman getting compromised. Doesn't give up. This is a scramble.
Wow. Great fight on both people's part. They both look so relaxed out there, Sally. I don't know if I was ever that relaxed out on the wrestling mat.
It is awesome watching these 2 athletes go at it. The referee saying, hey, we want to see more action. Show us more action. Put some points on the board.
Okay, so Dee Dee is on the passivity clock right now.
I've got to manually restart the clock every time it stops.
Dee Dee has 30 seconds to score a point. Otherwise, Bowman will get 1 point.
It's not like that this morning, but it was
And again,
yesterday.
Terry, that has been put in place so that there's action out on this mat. We want to see wrestling.
Yeah, and you know, they're really trying to create action out there. They don't want it. The referees don't want to make the decision. Well, we hope they don't.
That's right.
But you know, they're trying to insert some urgency in these athletes' minds so they get some action going. 1
point for Bowman because Dee Dee was not able to score that when she was on the shot clock. So it's now 1-0. Bowman is up.
Both athletes are keeping great positioning. You know, we're not seeing a lot of action, and it's just because there's some good defensive positioning here. All right.
30 seconds. The athletes to their corner.
Gonna go get some advice.
Get some advice, get some water, and you're also, when you're over there, you have to get toweled off. You see the coaches taking the towel, rubbing the sweat off their shoulders so that when they come back to the center, they're not as sweaty. You can have better control. I mean, there has been a couple times, Terry, when you and I, when you were my coach, we went to Spain, and it would be so hot and so humid, you could not stop sweating.
Yeah, so I don't know if I paid to dry you out with a towel, and I don't know if I paid to talk to you either because you never listened to me.
Bowman has to start moving. She was not, last time it was Dee Dee put on the shot clock. Historically, they try and go back and forth, so it's not the same person unless you're definitely stalling.
And there you see it.
Yep.
I believe the
Bowman got put on the shot clock. She has to score. And to answer that call, Dee Dee went in and got that takedown. 2 points. She's getting that leg lace locked up.
She has it locked up.
She got 2 points. She's not letting go. Jumping over the top. Another 2 points. It's now 6-1.
There's 2 more points. It's 8-1. She made the most of that passivity period.
Bowman, in order to not get moved, to not get turned, to not give up any more points, she grabbed Dee Dee's ankle, and the referee called it stalemate, both up. 9-1.
Go ahead and run it up.
And so she also got that passivity point in there, so makes it 9-1, right?
That's right. And you hear the Iowa fans right now. They are cheering. They're ecstatic. They are in love with what's going on this mat, with all the energy, all the excitement. Dee Dee looking to come around, trying to score her last 2 points so that she can win by a technical superiority. But look at Bowman hanging on, does not want to give up, cannot give up, because if she does, that would be the end of the match, and that would be the end. She would find herself to be a 3-time finalist.
Another nice shot by Didi.
Look at that knee. Yeah, the ref's going to call that. That was
Just potentially dangerous. The knee was definitely
you don't want to go in that direction.
compromised position.
Didi is relentless. She knows she can get 2 more points, and that'll be the end of the match.
1 minute left. Miss Bowman has to definitely find a way to score big points fast if she's going to win this match.
Didi, she's out there staying calm and cool, staying in control.
Nice shuck by Bowman, but makes nothing of it. Another snap. Just can't make anything happen. There's a shot by Bowman.
And she needs to get a pin at this point. With the point differential between them, the point spread, she's going to have to get a pin. But first she even has to go around and get behind to get control. She doesn't have that yet. There it is. Ref just called 2. She has control. At 155 pounds, Marilyn Didi, the 2024 NCWWC National Champion. What a way to cap off.
I'm so impressed, Sally, with how Didi wrestled this match. So relaxed, so comfortable out on that mat, and knowing who she is and comfortable in her own skin, and just she showed it.
Yeah, you know, she lost. The first point was scored off of a passive, right? So she was down 1-0, 0-1, and had to come back and answer those calls, and she did decisively.
She did a fabulous job, and that's her second title. She won a national title for Augsburg University, and now she's a national champ for the University of Iowa. Very happy for that young woman.
2-time NCWWC national champion. And you'll be seeing her in April at the Olympic trials.
Yeah, it's like it was
getting ready to go down there and hug her family, of course. Everyone gets 4 tickets when you're in the finals. Your family and friends can come out, sit with you. You can enjoy that moment with them.
In 7th place, from Iowa, Ella Schmidt. In 6th place, from King University, Yasmin Oliveira.
Central, I'm going to switch this
In 5th place, from Elmira College, Zoe Lintz. In 4th place, from Presbyterian, Maddie Kubicki. In 3rd place, from North Central, Alara Boyd. Your runner-up at 143 pounds from King University, Anya Drury. And your 143-pound national champion from the University of Iowa, Reese Leonendi. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your final weight class of the night, 170-pound champion.
All right, we are back at 170 pounds.
Representing North Central.
Representing
Elena
North Central, Yelena the red. She's going up against Kylie Welker from Iowa in the blue. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are following, this match is the match of the night for two reasons. These athletes are not only wrestling for their own national championship, but right now, the team score is 198.5 for Iowa and 198.0 from North Central. Whoever wins this match will also be the one that secures the team title for their school.
And the great thing about this, Sally, is if you're Coach Joe Norton, you want this match in Elena McCoy's hands, and if you're Coach Clarissa Chun, you want it in Kylie Welker's hands. So both coaches got what they wanted.
Yeah, that's right. Both of these athletes have already qualified for the Olympic trials. This is the match of the night, ladies and gentlemen. McCoy working hard, be smart. Kylie Welker has to come around. She got 2 points.
Kylie starts fast in matches, and she certainly did the same thing here.
McCoy is trying to stay heavy, stay strong, not letting her get tied up into a leg lace.
Elena's calm. Look at her. She just stood up, get back to business. Both of these athletes are really two of our elite athletes within the college ranks right now. Both have a real shot at our Olympic team this summer. Both have had international success on many levels, and so what a great match.
McCoy, when you're wrestling with her, and I've had the opportunity to wrestle with her, she hangs on your head. Look at that. She is fatiguing Welker. As soon as Welker makes that response, comes back around, there is a possible pinning scenario out here on the mat. And again, it's not just a national championship, but a team championship on the line.
She has her whizzer throw, has her on her back, just settling in. She knows she can be there for a while. Elena doing a great job of coming out of that.
Incredible defense.
2 more points, blue. That was for, she must have grabbed the singlet or something for them to give 2 points. The reason they gave 2 points is because she was on her back.
They're starting him back down again in parterre.
And they start him in parterre because they stopped the match when one person was on their back, and so they put him back in that position.
6.
All right, it's 6-0.
We are 2 minutes into this match, and Kylie Welker so far has been dominating. Again, this is for a national championship title and the team title. This is North Central versus Iowa. This is old guard versus the new guard. And if you can feel the excitement and the energy in this arena, this is women's wrestling. Welker in again on that single. Needs to get her weight back, needs to get her arm out so she can get another 2 points. She has to be able to get control before those points will get awarded.
Elena's doing a great job with that ankle as they're holding that off. Well, Kylie did an unbelievable job of moving her with snapping, getting the angle, run into that single leg, but Elena did a great job of countering it, just staying calm, getting her whizzer in, and just settling in and stopping the motion of the match.
Welker has been gunning and not letting up. She's being relentless, and McCoy, she's given up points, but she also looks so calm and cool out there. She's going to have to do some real work. She's got 30 seconds. Back to your coaches. Terry, what would you tell your coach right now if you were in the corner?
Well, I think if you're Joe Norton, I think he's just telling her, you just got to keep creating situations. Elena is best when the match is at a high speed. So she has to create the motion of the match, get the match moving, and Kylie really at this point, I would say, just stay steady. No deep ties, keep hand position, keep head position, control the center of the mat, and you know that Yelena has to come after you, so you don't have to do anything, out of your realm. They go both hard collar ties, trying to make something happen. A lot of heavy hands there.
All right, we are back, and there is a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. And Bruce Baumgartner, Steve Frazier used to say, pressure is a privilege.
Nice shot by McCoy. Nice switch off to a single leg. That's 4 points for Welker.
Welker, she's sitting there smiling,
on her back.
Knows exactly where she's at, calm, cooling.
No matter what happens here, Sally, the match is over, whether it's a fall or a 10-0 victory. This match will be over, and Kylie knows it.
And this isn't just for the national championship, this is also for the team title. You hear it chanting, let's go Hawks, let's go Hawks. Welker, her Cinderella story would be that she finishes this off with a pin. That would be the icing, the cherry on top. McCoy, she's got a minute and 40 seconds to hang out here and not get pinned. Right now she is wrestling with all heart. Coach Joe Norton is telling her to circle out, get her arm out, get to her belly. Kylie Welker is settling back. She can take her time here. She's got a minute 17. And regardless of what happens, she will have become the next national champion. Iowa will have won the first NCWWC team title.
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
And that's the match.
McCoy wrestled with heart.
He's challenging the call because if it stays as a 4-point call, the match is over. I think he's challenged that they hit their knee before it never went feet to back. It went from her knee to back. And that's what he's challenging right now. And that's the only way really back in this match for McCoy.
And listen, there's times where you have an opportunity to challenge and it doesn't make sense. In this case, it doesn't, because even if they're wrong, if they're wrong, then she's back in the match. And if they're right, then they're going to lose a point, but it's worth a shot.
Yeah, I believe Coach Norton is challenging the fact that they hit the mat before she went to her back. So instead of 4 points, which would put it at, it was 2 points, so that would put it at 8-0, and the match is still wrestling.
There would still be some opportunity to keep going.
And the reason it was stopped is because they went out of bounds. When the head touches out of bounds, so it was a 4-point attack, and that's a championship for Kylie Welker and a championship for the University of Iowa.
First year program came out of the gates. Clarissa Chun, Coach Gary Mayab, Tanya Verbeek. She's building a dynasty. I'll tell you, what a way to end a national championship event. Back on the replay, you can see Kylie Welker. She is being really strategic, did that leg, went right to her back for 4 points, just sat there hanging out.
You know what's special about that, Sally, is Kylie Welker was Clarissa Chun's first recruit.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that.
So what a special moment for Clarissa, for Kylie, for all of the Hawkeye fans and the Hawkeye faithful. A great day and a great moment.
And we're here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Last year, this championship tournament in 2023 had 1,977 tickets sold, and in 1 year, we're over 4,000 tickets have been sold, almost 5,000. That is the growth of the sport. People are wanting to show up. They're coming to the event. They're sitting in the seats, and they are truly being champions of these athletes who are also champions.
Well, I just want to say before we end, Sally, kudos to Joe Norton and the North Central. What an unbelievable tournament, a great tournament. The University of Iowa had a morning, a semifinal round this morning that was really unparalleled. I mean, it was just really, I've never seen anything like it. They punched 9 into the finals, and that's really where this was won, and it still came down to, like, 4 to 6 points difference in the team race, and really North Central led until the last match of the tournament. So kudos to Coach Norton and North Central, and kudos to Clarissa Chun. A lot of pressure in a new program at the University of Iowa, the first Power 5 school, and she found a way to get this done within a short couple years.
That's right. And when we're talking about Coach Chun at Iowa, we're talking about a program. She stepped into the limelight. She was recently named USA Today's Iowa Student of the Year. She's had a lot of accolades. She's been in the spotlight, and if you know her, you know that she actually doesn't want it. She wants her athletes to have the spotlight. She wants to put them out front. She wants them to be the focus.
Right, but she's done a great job. Great job of just pulling everything together. Again, what I talked about earlier is surrounding yourself with great people. And look, she has Coach Gary Mayab
That's
around
right.
her, Coach Tanya Verbeek.
She recruited Tanya from Canada.
Yeah, so nothing better. I mean, it's just an A-class program all the way around, but it's not just that they won. I think it's how Chun has built the program and how they won, and the culture around the team. She's done a great job with that.
That's right, and she has the experience being an athlete, understanding periodization, and when do they lift weights, and when do they ramp up, and when do they put in their heavy loads, and is able to also have conversations with their athletes about what's your nutrition look like, what is your recovery, what are you taking, are you going to classes, are you showing up? Like, you can't leave any stone unturned. You actually have to manage every aspect as a student athlete.
Correct, and hopefully it's awakening for some other schools out there. The University of Iowa took a risk, and they added women's wrestling, and now they're leaving here with the national championship. We have a lot of other Power 5 schools and a lot of traditional rich wrestling schools that we want them doing the same thing, and before long we're gonna have a full-fledged NCWWC sport.
Yeah, that's right.
And it would be great to have our power wrestling schools involved in that, chase for a title.
Yeah, we have the organization D1 Women's Wrestling, and they're helping to champion the growth of women's wrestling at the Division I level. Right now we only have 4 programs that are D1, but we have over 19 club programs going all the way from Oklahoma State University, Columbia, Stanford just started a club program, and these are going to be more institutions that as the sport continues to grow, there is an expectation that they're going to become a Division I varsity program. Hey, we have Lehigh. They just announced they brought in Brazil Marquez, who just got a hammer of a recruit that came in from Arizona, who just won a state championship title in Arizona on the boys' side of the bracket.
Yeah, Audrey Jimenez, what a great individual, and she's number 2 on our national team right now, and for her to go to Lehigh University and to give them that boost. I think it's exactly what we need. We need, our great wrestlers spreading out a little bit and building these programs and being a part of that. And like Kylie was here. She was the first recruit at the University of Iowa, and she wanted to build something. She wanted to be a part of something that was bigger than herself, and here she is, not only an individual national champion, but now the team title comes back to Iowa City, or to Iowa City for the first time.
First year program.
She was a part of that process, and that's something that she'll have forever, no matter what she ever does in the sport of wrestling.
No one can ever take that away from
She'll
her.
have that experience and those moments to look back on and talk to her grandchildren about forever.
That's right. And if we talk about the growth of women's wrestling at the college level, we have to acknowledge how that growth was even possible. We now have 45 states that are sanctioned in the United States where girls get to wrestle against other girls. And Terry, you just came back. Lehigh's in the state of Pennsylvania. There's that's a program, but we don't have Penn State yet. I'll tell you what is happening. Pennsylvania just sanctioned girls high school wrestling, and while simultaneously as this was happening, we had the PIAA wrestling for girls for the first time ever, and Pennsylvania is considered a hotbed of wrestling, right? So you now have more feeders and more pipelines. We went from 35,000 girls wrestling from 2023 to 55,000 girls wrestling in 2024. Those athletes need a place to go to school. They need a college to attend, and we have Iowa that is an NCAA Division I Power 5, came right out of the gates, won a national title, and we need more schools. We have over 58 schools that have qualified. We have over, how many NCAA programs do we have, Terry? Remind me.
I believe we have 96 NCAA programs. 96.
Yeah, and that number is low. We have to get over 100. I'm competitive. I'm a competitive advocate.
Yeah, for sure. And Sally, there is going to come a time, from an international perspective, I believe there will come a time that U.S. is the dominant force in women's wrestling across the world, and we're the envy of the world right now. They see our infrastructure, they see our growth, they see what's happening at our state level, at our collegiate level, and that time is coming. So these battles that we have here is only making our system stronger.
Well, the United States is a model for other nations for two reasons. One, we are the only nation in the world that pairs together school and athletics. No other country in the world can you go to school and also wrestle on your junior high, high school, or college team. It just doesn't exist.
Right.
And the driver of why the United States has more women that wrestle and more women that participate in sports is because we have Title IX. No person can be denied the opportunity to participate in programs on the basis of the fact that they're receiving a federal dollar. And Title IX is what has driven the United States to proportionality when we're looking at women's opportunities in sports across the landscape. And when we're talking about growing women's wrestling, the United States is a driver. When the U.S. soccer team went fair pay, that sent a message to every other country that women deserve equal pay, they deserve equal opportunities, and now you're starting to see this chain reaction. So with having women's wrestling becoming an NCAA championship sport, driving that narrative, you're going to start to see the growth exponentially, but whoever comes first and hits hard, they're going to be the one. So right now we know that Team USA has really been working hard to compete and beat Japan. We're on the cusp, we're on the heels of that, because we're going to have stronger athletes, stronger pipeline, stronger development.
For sure. And there's other countries too, right? But Japan has definitely been the thorn in our side, and but China's right there, Mongolia's right there. They have numbers, they have a system that works for them. We have Russia that's not far behind. We have Ukraine that's right on the tails. But really, our growth is second to none, right? And with everything that we have in place, I do believe our time is coming. And so I really like what I'm seeing, and it's a great feeling to be a part of all of this. And that's where we're at.
Listen, I am with Terry Steiner. He is the women's national and Olympic team women's wrestling coach. He was my coach. I was one of the first athletes to get recruited in 2003 to the Olympic Training Center. That was when Team USA announced, or that's when the Olympics announced that women's wrestling was going to be in the Olympic Games. USA Wrestling took a strong lead and said, well, we need to open up the Olympic Training Center and have our women athletes come. I was in that first cohort of athletes to come. Terry, you were my coach and had to, listen, it took a bit of pressure to make me a diamond, and you were, thank goodness, willing to do that. A little rough around the edges still, some might say, but listen, here we are celebrating what neither of us, I would say it's not something that I envisioned that I would see. I wouldn't see us sitting here talking about this, but we are, because we were relentless in the pursuit of women to have the opportunities just like their male counterparts.
For sure, and there's so many people to thank, right, Sally? I mean, there's so many people that have been behind this movement, and even long before I was involved, there was people pushing for those rights and pushing for the opportunities for women in this sport, and finally we have people seeing the value of the sport on our youth, not only on our young boys, but also on our young girls, and it's just a great thing to see, and it's a great thing to be a part of, and I couldn't be more happy where we're at right now, and yeah, we do have a ways to go, and we need to keep plugging, and we need to keep working, but that's where we're at, and as we lead into the summer, we have 6 weights qualified for the Olympic Games. All of our weights are qualified, and it would be great to go over to Paris and really come back with a large handful of medals.
That's right.
And or 2 hands full, I guess.
That's right.
It would be nice to come back with 6 medals and show the world that we're here to stay.
Well, you were talking about some of the history of women's wrestling, and there's so many people to thank. I just want to acknowledge and say thank you to Leroy Smith and the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. They put together a traveling exhibit that has been launched, and it's here for the first time. It's a history, a celebration of women's wrestling, and it goes through and it chronicles all the way from Afsoon Johnston, who was the very first American to win a medal for Team USA at the World Championships, all the way through to where we're at today. And by telling the history of our sport, it not only educates, but it also inspires, and it reaffirms that the United States, we are this big, giant broiler pot, and when you put that engine, when you put the fire underneath it, nothing is going to stop it. This is just the beginning. 240 athletes from 50 NCAA institutions that have qualified for this, and this is just the beginning. 2 more years, we can be an NCAA championship sport, and that is going to be a game changer. Terry, right this year we have 50,000 athletes that are wrestling. How many do you think we're going to have in 2 years when this can become an NCAA championship sport? Let's make a bet on it. I'll do 3 push-ups.
I'll just say not enough.
Not enough.
We're going to have more. We're going to have a considerable amount more. Who knows what that is, but, let's just keep the foot on the gas pedal and keep working and keep it growing, and let's get as high as we can, as quick as we can, and keep it there as long as we can.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but with Wrestle Like a Girl, we have 250,000 boys that are wrestling in high school, and our goal is to get 250,000 girls wrestling, and we're going to be able to do that by bringing in 15,000 wrestling coaches, women-specific wrestling coaches. We worked with USA Wrestling on a collaborative project, the Teal certification, and that's an online course that you can take that's going to help educate you and familiarize you not only just with female wrestling, but women athletes, so that you can feel more confident and comfortable coaching.
Yeah, and it's an important piece of our next step of development, right, is we need coaches.
Yeah.
We need coaches that are educated in the sport of freestyle wrestling, not just in the technical part of it, but in the development of people, human beings, the mentorship.
Yes.
Right, and and you know, giving them all the skills to be successful. Not, you know, there's so much more to coaching than just technique and tactics, right? There's fundraising, there's recruiting, there's dealing with administrations and fans and parents and different athletes,
it's
right?
It's being a CEO. You know, the National Wrestling Coaches Association, they have the CEO Academy.
And now,
Mike Moyer and Jackie Paquette, they have been leaders in that space, and they recognize that for our college coaches, our high school coaches to succeed, they need to realize it's more than just the X's and O's. There is an entire thought leadership that goes around it that that they need in order to truly thrive and survive.
For sure, and like you said, there's so many organizations that have been a part of this, you know. Wrestle Like a Girl, the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, the National Wrestling Coaches Association, USA Wrestling. I mean, just, you know, everyone working for one thing, and that's the advancement of the sport of women's wrestling. And you know, and that's why everything that we've done, the growth that we've had, it's been very intentional.
Absolutely.
Right? And the moves that we've made along the way, both at our state level, at our collegiate level, at the national level, have been very intentional and moving it forward and keeping the athlete in mind first. And I think that we've done a pretty good job. We're not perfect, right? But I think it's been a pretty good job of uniting and staying on track for one goal, right?
Yeah.
It's building the whole system, the pipeline, and then, you know, the elite team along that way.
Yeah, and when you say it takes, it hasn't been one individual person or one individual group, you're absolutely right. Wrestling, historically, we're territorial, and when we own this space, we want to own it. But what's really amazing about women and the women's wrestling side of the house is that we're collaborators, we're communicators, and we want to work together. We're building a sisterhood. We have strong allies that have come together and stood alongside us who have opened the doors, uplifted, amplified, and made it so that dreams can come true. Here we are, the University of Iowa, the team champions. They're coming out. And look, they have some leis around their necks. That is from the Hawaiian culture, Hawaii, where Clarissa Chun is from. She was the very first girl to win a high school state title at 98 pounds.
What a moment for this organization, this team, the University of Iowa, women's wrestling. A great moment.
If you were sitting here in the stands, and if you're not sitting here this year, you need to get a ticket. You have to come here, sit in this space, feel the energy, feel the power. These girls, these women, they're out here dominating, and the crowd is going wild. This is phenomenal. University of Iowa, team champion. And we said it before, but listen, Clarissa Chun, she took a job and she stepped into the light, she stepped into pressure, and she had to prepare her athletes so that they could withstand that, and they did. They wrestled solid.
You are the reason why I'm here.
I don't know. Maybe just the fans and stuff. No, his wife's over there.
3 hot guys!
I would assume so.
Yeah, here comes, look at that MVP trophy. Jeez, it's bigger than the national championship trophy.
They got 2 of them. Is that an MVP and the Coach of the Year? What do you think? I can't read the writing there, but they got 2 awards left.
Yeah.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, before our last 3 awards of the night, first off, the athlete with the most falls in the least amount of time, with 5 pins in a total of 3 minutes and 47 seconds. From North Central, Britton Corbishley.
It's most pins.
I think that's a stupid award. So this got to be MVP every year. And no thanks to you. They'll probably do that after, after the fact.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the outstanding wrestler for this tournament, from New Jersey City, Sandra Guerrero.
That's like one of the beat-down gals. Oh, heavyweight. You're spreading your wealth around. Yeah, you wouldn't know. It's just, you get some other words around. The other coaches. Yeah, might as well. Yeah. Let's go take her down. One bit more big picture. I'm gonna head now. Beach trail.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's see it.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, with the awarding of that final trophy, we bid you good night and thank you for your participation in the 2024 National Collegiate Women's Wrestling Championships. Safe travels and safe journey home. Good night. For athletes in the lobby, please exit the convention center lobby to meet all of your athletes from the session. Please gather over here.